Hey guys, welcome back. Today is going to be the first of what I intend to be sort of a rainbow series. So basically a video dedicated to each color and then some of my favorite products that fall within that color category. The plan as of today, when I sit down to film this very first video in the series, is that there's going to be about 7 shorter videos dedicated to each color. We'll see how it goes. So today, red. Let's do this. Alright, so when I sat down to collect the items for today's video, I was really looking for what are my favorite red products. So I didn't want to just bring out everything that I have that's red or else we'd be here forever. What I really wanted to focus on were what were my favorite red products. So when I'm looking for a red lipstick, which are the ones that I gravitate towards and why? And same with eyeshadows and any other red products that I have. I have 9 products sitting in front of me, so let's just dive into them. First up is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is one of the liquid lipsticks in the shade American Doll. First of all, I really like the ABH liquid lipstick formula. I don't find it to be drying. I do find that it is long lasting and they are very pigmented. They also smell nice. No, they don't. It's the glosses that smell nice. These don't really have a scent to them at all. So there is the shade there. It's just a beautiful blue-toned classic red. And I just think it's beautiful. And it does dry down quite matte. Another red liquid lipstick that I just can't live without, I think it's so beautiful, is from Nars. And it is in the shade Don't Stop. And it's one of their Powermatte lip pigments. These are a little bit waterier, liquidier than the ABH, but they do dry down nicely and again has very nice lasting power. So there is the Nars here and there's the ABH over there. They are very similar in tone, like very similar. This one just has a little bit more true red. This one has like a slight pinkishness to it, whereas this one is like true red. But one of the things that I really like about the Nars is that it wears away quite evenly. With the ABH, it can sort of remain around the outside of your mouth, and when you're wearing such a bold color, it can look really weird. So if you're eating or something like that, it's going to wash away in the middle, but then you're left with the ring around the mouth. Whereas with the Nars, I find that it just, because I think it has a little bit more liquidy of a nature, a little bit more, it is more liquidy by nature. There it is. It's a little more, holy Christ. It tends to wash away more evenly and you're not left with that ring. So when I'm out and about, this is the one that I prefer because I feel like there's less risk of it looking kind of janky halfway through a meal. We may as well just stick with the lipsticks because I'm on a roll now. So another one that I really enjoy is from Lancome. It's one of their matte shakers and this is in the shade Ready in 5. It's got a really strange applicator and when I ordered this online, I was quite concerned that I wouldn't get the amount of precision that I would want with such a bold shade, and yet this is actually surprisingly easy to work with. You can basically just line around the outside, and because it is fairly stiff, like it doesn't splay out, so that was my concern with the fact that it's more of like a spongy type tip, but it is actually quite easy to work with. So there it is there, and as you can see, this is warmer in tone, so it has a little bit of an orangey cast to it. The last lipstick that I have to talk about is a classic. Ruby Woo from MAC. This is one of their retro mattes, and it is beautiful. The retro mattes are a bit of a trickier formula. They're the driest ones that MAC has, but that does help to improve the longevity of it. So there it is here, and it's just, like, honestly, if you're looking for any sort of red lipstick, this is the one that I would recommend. It's got that nice blue base to it, so your teeth look nice and white, and Although it is a drier formula in the tube, I really don't find that it's uncomfortable in the mouth. It doesn't bunch up, it doesn't ball up, it doesn't transfer onto your teeth. It's pretty low risk, and it does last quite well for being a bullet lipstick. And I just wanted to, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, to be honest, just to go back to these two, because they do look very similar in terms of their color. But now that they've had a chance to dry down a bit, this one, like if this one dries far more, okay, my fingers look terrible and I'll get to that in a minute, but this one is far less transfer proof than that one, just so you're aware. They will dry down a little bit more than that, but this one never gets fully transfer proof. Again, that's the Nars. The ABH does become transfer proof. And because I like to prove my points, there is just after a few wipes with the makeup wipe, this is the ABH that's left over. So it is very long lasting. The only problem, as I said, with that is that if you are eating, it's going to wipe away from the center of the mouth, but along the outside it's going to be quite resistant. So just be aware of that. As long as you have a mirror and you can touch up as you go, not really a problem, but it will give you the ring around the mouth look. All right, I'm going to talk about two eyeliners and then we're going to move into shadows. I don't have an extensive collection of red eyeliners. That's really not the most wearable shade out there, but one that really is wearable is from Marc Jacobs, and it's one of their gel Highliner matte gel eye crayons, and the shade name is Fine Wine. And I like these because they twist up, I don't have to sharpen them. But this one, it's red, but it's got like a strong burgundy feel to it. There it is. So it's not like a bright cherry red, which would make your eyes look like there was something seriously wrong. It's got a nice depth to it that, like I have it in my waterline today. So while it's unique and different, it doesn't make your eyes look conjunctivitis-y. Another liner that I really enjoy, more so because of the formula than the actual shade, because again, using a bright red eyeliner is tricky, but it comes from Suva Beauty. This is in the shade Cherry Bomb. I've talked about these hydraliners before, but they are just such an innovative little product and I freaking love them. They're water activated, so they come and they're dry in the pan, and then you just spray just plain old water. I have tried using setting spray with them and it's not a good idea. It gets too sticky. So you just spray them with water and then that activates them and they become basically a liquid liner. So there it is here, and there's the pigmentation on it. It's kind of like an orangey red, like a tomato red, I'd say. So you can use these as eyeshadow, you can use them as eyeliner. That's what I tend to use them for. You could like really sheer it out and use it as blush if you want to, just keep adding water to it. I don't think that that would be my recommended use for it because, as I said, my fingers look weird and dirty and awful because this one stains like a beast. So there it is there, and then I wipe it off and it's left with this yellow stain behind. So just be aware that you're going to look a little jaundiced after you remove it, but I think that just has to do with the pigmentation in it. One thing, it should go without saying because it's quite logical, but I'm going to say it anyways, these are water activated, as I just said. So when you apply them, they're not going to be waterproof. So if you have particularly runny eyes, or if you know you're going to be, I don't know, sweating or in the rain or something like that, I would steer clear of these because they are not going to survive and they will run down your face and then ultimately disappear. All right, I've got 3 more products in the category and all 3 of them I am wearing on my eyeballs today. So what I started off with was a shade from the Juvia's Place Festival palette. So I used, and the names, I can't pronounce them, Izafa, I don't know, there it is here. So I used this shade here on a fluffy blending brush, put it into the crease and buffed it up towards the brow bone and just kept going back and forth and back and forth, really trying to smoke it out as much as possible, and then brought it onto the outer portion of the lid and the inner portion as well. And then I deepened up the outer portion of the lid and then across the very center of the crease with this shade here, which is M847 from Makeup Forever. And I'll just swatch these for you so you can see. We're going to ignore the yellow streak on my hand because I can't do much about it. So there is the Makeup Forever shade. Again, it's very reminiscent to that Marc Jacobs liner. And then there is the Juvia's Place red shadow there. And I really like both of them. I like how pigmented this one is, yet how easily it blends out. I think I just used the wrong finger. Yeah, I did. But it blends out really nicely. And then again, this one has that nice sort of purple undertone to it, which really helps to make it very wearable, but gives you something different to work with than like a dark brown. Finally, if you can tell, there's some glitter on my eyelids, and for that I used the Starcrushed Minerals Glitter in Ruby Red Slippers. So there it is there. And this is just a bit of a bigger cut glitter. You can see there. It's not like a glitter dust or anything like that. Like, it's not a loose pigment. It is small glitter, but very defined pieces. And I love that it's just a true red. Last thing to tell you, because I told you how I did my eyes, I may as well tell you what's on my mouth. So I used the Nars Don't Stop lipstick, but it was way too bright and it just looked, it was competing with the eyes too much. So I toned it down by adding some Black Velvet from Lime Crime, and then that was a little too dark, so then I went in and added a bit more ABH American Doll. So I've got 3 different lip products going on my mouth. I feel incredibly extra, but there it is. I wanted to use the products that I was talking about today, or else I would have gone for like a deeper red, but it all works out in the wash. So at any rate, those are some of my favorite red items from my collection. I would love to hear what some of yours are. What are your favorite red lipsticks? Things like that. Do you use red eyeshadow? Would you wear red liner? Give me some thoughts down below. And there you have it. Those are some of my favorite red items that are in my collection. I would love to hear what some of yours are. What are your favorite red lipsticks? Do you wear red shadow? Would you wear red liner? Anything like that, leave me some suggestions down below. I'd love to check out what it is that you guys are loving. And on that note, I am going to wrap this video up. I thank you for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next one. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now.